Okay, so holy life, what the frick? Um, I already did my usual sort of daily video. Sit down at the computer, open my phone up for the first time. Both places see I have a message um, from the people that I actually met with last week in terms of potentially living with them. And it's a yes, which I'd sort of let go of, and my mind had moved on. And so I'm in this space of the world has not met my mind's expectations. And, you know, my heart at the moment is not able to get a word in edgewise. So here's sort of the dichotomy. Met at this place. It's a great place, great people, really good location. The only potential asterisk is, it costs money, where it doesn't. And I'm still in the process of trying to actually find moneyed employment. So, it's like, especially after the experiences I've had so far, don't want to put too much hope in that. So moving on, I then, this potential comes up of essentially working 12 to 15 hours a week for room and utilities, which, given that I don't have a job, sounds perfect. But it doesn't start until September. This would start in August, which actually would get me into the cities. And do I want to hold out for that while, instead of actually going with something that I know is there? So, and this literally is just, it's like, this happened right after. It's like, okay, so I did my video for the day, and I'm just like, okay, need to process this, and so might as well put it out and get input. The advantage, apart from just the material, I don't have to worry about rent, assuming this opportunity came through, possibility, it's a job that basically plays to all of my past strengths and gives space for, potentially doing creative stuff on the side, which then could potentially also get some money in, which, at least at first would pay for things like food, but then I also would likely have food stamps, at least at the beginning. And then, so has that, if I got it, has security of place, roof over my head, and gives room for the creative. Just by definition of what it is. Downsides. It's not a sure thing. It doesn't start until September. And the more I think about it, this in itself is an act. It's really weird. So, in terms of, I have this place in August, the place that I'd be paying for. Okay, there's that aspect of security there, but we don't know about the future. The place that doesn't start in September, but is essentially room for work, is security in, if I got that, I can see how it goes. Step by step by step, I can see it. And the job itself plays into all of my strengths. The job itself is not an opportunity for growth. And therein lies the torment. The near term secure proposition is also the proposition that actually allows for growth. Because I still need to find a job. There's actually a food co-op just down the street that, has great benefits and is a type of organization I haven't worked with before. And so in the process of, opening myself up to different forms of organization, because I don't think I've mentioned in my videos, like my training is essentially in organizational leadership with a huge emphasis on group process and doing it within the context of a theater organization. So a co-op organizational structure is, just a completely different ballgame than the standard not-for-profit structure that a theater is usually structured within. So the August option both gives better near-term security because it's there for the taking at this point, as well as better growth opportunities within the context of what I feel my long-term major calling being. Professional, outside of the purely just creative, let's collaborate side. And especially for me, it's especially relevant, making that distinction is relevant because to the extent that, because I actually am very strong at both. I'm both very strong creatively, collaboratively. I'm also very strong organizationally and actually enjoy that side of things. The real life quip from my life that sort of typifies that is I actually enjoyed music theory, which is not something that a lot of really innately creative musical people do. I enjoyed that quantification structure, boiling it down to the structure and then opening up. So that boiling it to the structure so you had that strong platform on which to play and just make stuff up instead of just sort of being left with something a bit more wishy-washy, which then doesn't support the same level of creativity. Go figure. So I have both those aspects, and as much as I love the purely creative side, and I definitely hope as I find I get a slightly more stable, or even before, to really ground in that a bit more than I have over the past many years. But that being said, my calling is that integration of the two. And that is, so that is where I am. And now that my heart actually does have space to breathe a bit more, I'm definitely seeing this opportunity that is presenting itself now. I want to give it a bit of space, but the more I am able to step away from the voices of my expectations in the short term, the more, yeah, I can see this being the right thing. So yeah, that's the most recent up. And anyone who has thoughts on this, comment, please. I'm very, part of my internal process is often, getting input from the outside, not necessarily because that's what I'm going to do, but as much, get those other perspectives, but also have that external barometer to then, okay, what do I feel? Towards these different ideas, which then helps me clarify my own, what I myself am going. Which is a sentence which I think you probably understand what I was saying, but yeah, I realized that sentence didn't make any sense word-wise. But yeah, so that's the most recent. Love y'all. Take care, and until next time, stay betwixt it.